Good morning again, everyone. I just want to thank you so much for participating in this 12-hour day of collective healing. My name is Curdy Lindgren, and I am bringing on our next healer. Her name is Stephanie, and she's going to introduce herself. I am so excited for you all to be able to enjoy this session with her. I want to thank you, Stephanie, for participating. I know we pulled this together very quickly, and we're just so grateful you said yes. I want to thank Nicole for hosting the course registration platform at www.theessentialnicole.com. That's where you're getting your live links for today's sessions, and also where you will be able to access the replays of all of the recordings of all these sessions for whenever you need this healing. I want to thank Jacqueline at the Spiritual Touch Healing Boutique in Spokane Valley, Washington, for hosting the Facebook event page. And I am Curdy. I am the technology goddess today, hosting the Zoom sessions through my account. Again, all of these sessions are being recorded. We have turned your microphones off. We do have the chat section enabled. So when Stephanie does ask you questions and asks you to participate, please do that in the chat. The chat button is down at the bottom of your screen, and on your phone, on your iPad, or on your computer. It's pretty big. So Stephanie, take it away.
Hi, good
Thank you
morning.
again.
Yay. Hi. Hello from Anchorage, Alaska. I know this is strange to not verbally interact. Hope you're all doing well. I am Stephanie Gerard, and I moved here to Anchorage over a year ago. I visited here, 4 or 5 years ago, fell in love with it, and finally just decided to move. So here I am. So it's a bright and early 8:02 in the morning. I'm an hour behind you guys. The sun is getting ready to come up in about a half hour, but the skies are warming up. So anyway, so again, I'm Stephanie Gerard. I do all kinds of things. I am a spiritual teacher, mentor, healer, energy alchemist, medium. Yes, I talk to dead people. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love doing this work. I have been of service to Source for quite a long time, for a number of years now. And along the way, just learning, you know, the universe has a fun sense of humor, and sometimes we don't think it's so funny. But, through living life, through acquiring all of these amazing experiences, good, bad, and otherwise, painful, takes a lot of pain to come to a place like this, to be filled with love, to be loved, to learn how to accept oneself, you see. So in having had my hand in the pot with working with people for a very long time, people teach me as well. It's taught me love, it's taught me compassion, and that's what I pray for all of you today. So I would like to thank you all for being here. In this world, in the family I was birthed into, there was many challenges, and I'm sure everyone has a story. I have mine as well. And the wonderful part is that in the journey of being a part of the family I opted into and birthed into, grew up, gained experience with, it's brought me to where I am now. So I'm the oldest of 5, number 1 life path, which means a leader. So it's like dig that fork in the ground and figure it out and run. So anyway, it's been a long journey. One thing that I would like to emphasize too, it's not always just a spiritual journey. There was a time when I was deeply immersed in the Muggle world, as all of us are. I've had lots of experience behind the wheel of that car, let's put it that way. Along the way, I figured out, when I was learning to commune with myself, and I'm sharing these stories, by the way, because I pray that it is relevant for you at some chapter in your life too. Because it's not just, ooh, I was born this spiritual flower and I'm here to give to the world. Oh, no, 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 no. It's like being a piece of coal. And then we have experience and we've become the diamond. And that energy is really prominent right now, spiritually speaking, energy speaking. So, just to back up, what I was going to say is that, share is that along the way of coming to where I'm at present, I decided, well, I must not know enough. You know, the self judgment comes in. This is also called the ego. Um, you know, the conflict, the battle of intuition plus personal. And I decided, well, I must not know enough. So I think it's time I go get a college degree. So I went and I got not one, but 2 degrees. So I have a bachelor's and a master's in criminal justice. And for my master's degree, I opted to go to Boston University. Why? Well, as a woman who is seasoned over a certain age, over 40, um, we need a little bit more help in the back pocket, shall we say. So I figured I must not know enough. I need to go get not one, but 2 degrees. I had the wonderful opportunity and privilege of working at Supreme Court in Arizona. And I share that because I was a volunteer there for over a year for the Foster Care Review Board for Maricopa County. And what that position entailed was being very much like I would want to say almost like a lawyer. We had to review cases for foster children and make a decision each month and meet with all the families once a month at the courthouse to decide should the foster child stay where they're at, or can they go home with bio mom or bio dad or both. So all of those experiences taught me about discernment. It taught me about love, unconditional love, compassion. Again, I like to teach through stories because I know that everyone finds something relevant in the story. And it's really important to know that you are important. You are so special. Um, Everything matters. Every detail matters. I believe that, you know, when we look at the distractions of this year, I'm not going to put a lot of words to that, but when we look at the pattern of the events, it's challenging so many people. You know, it's putting us face to face with our own inner duality. You know, at the end of the day, after all speculation of any kind, you know, who's going to be, who's going to be this, who's going to be that, at the end of the day, no matter what, we're left with ourselves. We wake up with ourselves, we go to sleep with ourselves. It's up to us to have our own discernment about ourselves, about what is going on. This year has put us face to face to say, oh, hi, Stephanie, do you see me now? You know, it's been very much looking in the mirror. And when we observe what's going on, the duality is off the charts. It's off the Richter scale. But is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. It's rattling a lot of cages and it's shaking the dust loose. It's shaking the messy things loose. So, anyway, let's pause right there. And I would like to do just a brief opening meditation. So, let's transmute all of this energy that we just brought up and talked about, because duality is a really touchy subject and it's playing out in a lot of unique ways. So let's take a moment right now. Let's close our eyes. Just take a deep breath in and hold and exhale. Let's take another deep breath in, hold, and exhale. And then let's take one more deep breath in, and we're going to fill ourselves with the color of pink, with love, with a pink cloud of compassion. And visualize yourself inside of an orb, a clear, you know, the bubbles that we blow. So let's go ahead and do that. From your toes all the way up through the top of your head. And exhale. Okay. Is everybody back? Like I'm going through and calibrating. Okay, just checking things out. Um, so we've already touched on the spiritual side of life, working in the Muggle world. So again, my name is Stephanie Gerard. There's all kinds of really cool gifts that I am a conduit for. I'm super excited to be here again today. Um, again, looking at where we've been this past year, it's kind of scary. In September of 2019, all of our timelines closed. What does that mean? This means that from 1999 through last year, September of 19, we had wonderful opportunity to embrace lessons, challenges, and so forth. We had wonderful opportunity to look at ourselves, look at our lives. How are we making a difference in the world? Are we making a difference in the world? We don't know. Um, but all of our experiences from 99 to September of 19, that whole sum total, everything matters. Why? Because that was also a spiritually defining time. What that means is it's like many sets of doors have closed. There's many challenges along the way. So September of 19 was, I don't want to say round one because we're always receiving lessons. So September of 19, it was the universe saying, okay, we're going to close these doors here. Now, you have from now to the end of the year to figure out what are the remaining lessons? What do we have left here? And so we saw December, the end of the year, December 31. We go into January, specifically January 12 of this year. I am not an astrologer, but on that day, there was a very specific lineup of the planets. And it was a lineup that we, the humans on the planet at this place and time, have never seen. And in fact, it had been over 800 years since the planet has seen this alignment. We have witnessed and observed what's happened. We have some major stuff going on, especially with the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn's coming through and going bam, 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 in terms of being the mini earthquake in our life all the time, every day. Here in Alaska, earthquakes, but that's normal. This is Mother Earth shaking things loose a little bit. I say she's shaking your hips to get some attention because she's asking for love. So that is what we have needed as well. We are vessels of love here on this planet to share it with other humans. This is a point that I teach people all the time. Everything matters. Our energies matter. It matters so much about being filled with the energy of love and sharing that, you see, because that way it keeps everything elevated. I know that makes sense to you guys. So we look at September of 19, then we're at January 12th of this year, then we're at Friday the 13th in March. A couple of things happen. One person in kind of a power steps down, and then we have the worldwide situation going on at present. Lots of stuff, lots of games, lots of uglies. We've seen so much. What this has been, though, it's just think of it again like a diamond. This is like the final firing of the fire, that final piece of coal, really marinating, processing. We have been asked to let go all year long. Let go of what? Well, we're letting go of habits that no longer serve us. We're letting go of beliefs that no longer serve us. Sometimes we let go of people that were in our lives. Sometimes people have chosen to leave us, sometimes longtime friends. Yet what that has done is it's made room for other people to come in. Many people right here, right now at present are saying, you know what, Stephanie, I'm lonely. I hurt. Yes, we do. Because what's happened is through this fire and brimstone process all year long, it's bringing us to where we are now. Because as we move into the new year, we've got to be sharp. We've got to be on our game. We need to have burned off and released all that no longer serves us. That can be heartbreaking. It can also be very welcoming. Personally, earlier this year, I made a tiny move from one side of town to the other. And I'm exactly where I wanted to be. When I first moved to Anchorage, I thought, well, if I could live anywhere, where would it be? Long story short, manifested it. Here I am. I share this because Source is doing this with all of us. You know, where is it that we can be at our best? Where is it that we are just going to not just survive, but thrive and be loved? Because again, going into this new year, all of us, I don't want to use the word warrior. It's important for all of us to be pioneers and leaders in our own way, right where we're at. We're perfect right where you're at. Don't worry about if you need to move. If you have to move, I mean, the universe is like, okay, here, we'll provide it for you. In fact, we'll help you along. And if you think you don't have to move, we're going to push you along to make sure that your energies are in the best place possible for us to thrive. So if any of you have experienced any of these changes, you're actually, fortunately or not, you're right in sync with what's going on. These timelines are critical. And so revisiting the timelines, we had September, the beginning of January. Now we're looking at March. Then when we look at the 6-month window of March to September of this year, again, think about the changes, what's happening, what's not happening, what do we need to do differently, what can be the same, and we're adjusting, refining. In August, the beginning of August, the 8th of August, we had what we call the Lionsgate portal. So again, this was another moment of a transformation. This was another initiation brought to us by Source saying, okay, you know, you've got to do this practice run here throughout the year. Now we're over here. So we're going to see, you know, did we make it through or not? Well, you know, that's a whole different subject. But leading up to the Lionsgate, again, the 8th of August. Why August? Well, it's, you know, for the Northern Hemisphere anyway, it's the hottest month of the year. It's a time where we truly have to let go of what no longer serves us. It's a time where we need to hydrate. It's a time that we have to stay in very close attunement with not just the physical life, but the inner spiritual life. So with Lionsgate, that was on the 8th of August. It technically began the end of July, July 26th. The portal had this final, you know, hoorah. And then immediately on the 9th of August, those doors closed. By the 12th of August, meaning a couple of months ago, those doors did close. How do you know you quote unquote made it through? The most prominent thing would be that you're no longer living from a place of fear, that you're living from a place of love. Maybe you don't necessarily like what's going on. However, there is simply a different kind of understanding. Mainly, you know, we can't control what's going on per se, but we can fill ourselves with love and just say, okay, stepping into the energy of imperviousness, right? Having stuff just repel off of us. It's almost like one of the movies, you know, about Armageddon, where we're the ones that are now at the end of the movie walking out of the fire. You know, maybe we've got some smoke damage or whatever, but we're getting stronger and stronger. So that was Lionsgate. That was the big deal. And that was all done by the 12th of August. So what has happened, what we see happening, again, going back to duality, because it's rearing its head big time, especially this year. So what we saw after the 12th of August was fear, 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 a lot of fear. And there's people like us where we're like, well, I don't like what's happening, so I'm going to stay in my space, partly because we have to, right? But I'm going to stay in my space and do the best I can. What can I do? Well, I can emanate the energy of love. I can stay fully present here. I can ask Source to send out the energy of love to the planet. What can we do right here, right now? So there was a divide of a belief system. Again, if you look at your family and friends, you may or may not have noticed this change, but that is one of the ways you can tell. Okay, so then we go into September. We went through 9/9, that kind of came and went. October was powerful. I noticed that there wasn't when October 10th came along, 10/10. When October 10th came along, there was a little bit of a voice out there in the world about October 10th, but not a lot of attention, which garnered attention from me, which is something that moved me to do a healing session for folks, because that was yet another portal, you see. So, and when I say portal, that also we're talking about coming up to a different level of awareness, where we come into a different place of understanding. The duality has brought forth the divine masculine feminine energy within us. The divine masculine is the right side of the body. Divine feminine is the left side. The divine feminine has the heartbeat, just as Mother Earth, you see. And this year has taught us how to come into the divine feminine, to start to tune into our heart and to start living from our heart. So this year has pushed us through a lot of stuff. For some people, it's been easy peasy. Some of you might be like, you know what? I've had a great year. And I say, awesome, good. Some of us went through a little more fire and brimstone kind of stuff. And that's okay. It's okay, because here we are, and that's what matters. So now here we are in November. We're coming out of this huge full moon, the full moon in Taurus. Now, this full moon knocked a lot of people sideways. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the female sign. And it's right here at this very specific place in time, really coming in with the full moon and pushing that divine feminine. Allow yourself to receive. Allow, receive. Be that. Be in that space of love. Allow it to come in. Allow yourself to not just be nurtured, but to also do nurturing for others. So how do we do our own self-nurturing? That's a critical part of our journey right now. How are we taking care of ourselves? Are we taking a couple of extra minutes in the morning to spend that in gratitude? Some people are wonderful meditators. I'm not. But what I love to do, my form of meditation, is staring outside and looking at this beautiful nature and allowing Source to come in. I'm so happy. I live at the foot of the Chugach Mountains. I'm so excited. But to be in that space of love and joy and gratitude each morning, the self-care. Another form that I always suggest to people is to take a salt bath. You can use Epsom salt. You can use pink Himalayan salt. The thing with salt is that it cleanses and clears our aura. So I'm sharing all of this because it's really important. We can look at history in the big picture, or we can look at this past year. Look at that history, because with each start-stop, all of the conflict, with all of the duality, it is helping us to burn off, once again, all that no longer serves us, you see. Today is today, November the 3rd. We move into the winter solstice next month, which is totally exciting. There's going to be a lot of exciting things that happen on that day, as we're all familiar with. So all of this to say, it's really important to have this awareness of what has transpired just in the last 12 months. Again, everything matters. All of these shifts, all of these changes matter. Everything matters. Everything comes together. Pay attention to every little detail. Sometimes when I am I have a question about anything in my head. Well, I wonder if blah, 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 you know, and then there will be like bling from the cell phone or another sound. I view that as a form of validation. Pay attention to everything. So everything matters, you guys. Everything matters. Pay close attention to everything because these are all messages from source. These are all messages from the universe. Um, in the healing modalities that I do what is called spiritual response therapy or spiritual response technique. That's working with a pendulum and 32 charts that helps to basically do a massive intervention of a person from the inside out, of cleansing and clearing habit patterns, old beliefs and stuff, not just from this lifetime, but lifetimes and galaxies ago. I am also a certified theta healer. I do the theta healing with the DNA structure, also beliefs. Theta healing is fantastic because it's a safe place and a safe way for us to address those things that we are afraid of and or clear stuff between ourselves and source, and then bring in the direct positive polar opposite, meaning belief wise. I'm also a prana healer, certified prana healer, which simply means just working with chakras, and a distance healer. Probably 97% of my work is all done remotely, also by phone. So, all of this to say, we've had this nice long talk about this past year, about the last 12 months, right? And when we think about what that has been for us, all of us have our own answers regarding that matter. In the matter of duality, we live on a planet that we struggle with the light and the dark. And, you know, there's the phrase, all that is dark comes into the light. We're familiar with what that means. We equate the light with being spiritual. We equate the dark with being of that dark energy. It's really important to understand that right now on this planet, the various levels of the dark energy are being or have been addressed and booted off the planet. So we've seen round one. We're dealing with the residuals of round one. There's different levels and different names. I choose to not say them because I choose to not call forth those energies. Okay. So we have stair step number one of going downstairs. So that stair is pretty well cleared off, little bit of residuals. That's okay. We're currently standing on step number two. The awareness is coming out, and there's a lot more words being spoken about that particular type of energy. And then there's step number three, the lowest of the deepest of the dark. And that has been addressed for the last 5 years. There are 22 people on this planet, all angels. They've all been wholly responsible for getting rid of that energy. Why am I bringing this up? Because in our daily walk of life, these energies can come in and they enter our physical bodies, our energetic bodies, and it plays out in blah, blah. My tongue is so dry. 1 second. Thank you for that. I'm sorry for that. The dark energies, how do I explain this? Okay, the stronger vehicles that we become, the stronger of the light that we carry within, the more the dark is like, oh, there's a fluorescent light way out there in the field. Let's do what we can to get rid of it, because we don't want that light to show everybody else where to go, what to do, how to do it. So it will park inside of a person's body. We're going to clear this, by the way. So it parks inside of a person's body in the white blood cells, the RNA, the chromosomes, pituitary gland, and our the pineal gland, the third eye, also known as the ascension eye. There is a belief out there by some who are operating at 6D and higher. Once we get to 60, there are no chakras. It's just a form of structure. But we're still evolving and climbing the ladder here. So those are some very specific places that the dark energy comes in. I mean, there's all kinds of forms. And again, this is being addressed because it plays out, it's sneaky. It plays out in a number of ways. I recently talked with a healer who was helping to clear some of this stuff for me. And of course, sometimes when other people work on me, they're like, I haven't been here before. What is this? I've never had to do this before. So in a nutshell, it had to do with an energy of not just being courted, but hacked into. That's kind of scary. So right now, again, let's just take a deep breath in. We're going to start addressing this stuff right now. So have your water ready. Here we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through source. So through source, we command that for all who are present in this session right here, right now, and for all future people who choose to come to this recording, we're setting the intention, we're making the command, yes, command, right now, through source to come into all of our physical bodies, to clear away this dark matter from our RNA, to cleanse, clear, release, dissolve, transmute any and all energies, any and all malevolent energies that are present, that are hijacking us right now in our RNA. Cleanse, clear, release, dissolve, transmute. We command for source to download the direct positive polar opposite. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. That one made me dizzy. Here we go, round 2. Through source, we command that the malevolent energies, any and all malevolent energies that may be residing within our white blood cells, is now released, dissolved, transmuted to love and light, and that the energy of love saturates our white blood cells now. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. That one went better. Let's move on to the chromosomes. Through source, we command that any and all malevolent energy present within our entire chromosome system is now released, dissolved, and transmuted to love and light. And that love is downloaded in its place. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. By the way, yawning is very normal for this. Yawning is representative of energy moving. If you find you're yawning during this process, very normal. It's kind of like expected. Okay, so the last 2 places we're going to cleanse and clear at this point in time is our pituitary gland and our ascension eye. So through source, we command that our pituitary and our ascension eyes are now cleared of any dark, malevolent energies that may be hijacking or otherwise, to have all of this released, dissolved, transmuted to love and light, and that the direct positive polar opposite is downloaded and brought in now. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Right now through source, let's go ahead and have source come into our auras and to cleanse and clear any and all waywards, to send them back to the light. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Through source, we command that all hooks, cords, hardware, software, any and all matter that is within our auras right now, that this is all released, dissolved, and transmuted to love and light, and to bring in the white light with the white fire filled with love to surround us. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. That was a lot. If anyone would like to share how they're feeling right now, go ahead and list that in the chat. In the meantime, at present, we're going to continue moving with the healing. So, any questions, any feedback, go ahead and list that in there right now. So far, we have gone ahead and we have cleared out um, the darkest of the darkest of the dark energies from our physical body, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. This has been a challenging year, like we all know. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to call in all of our people. I say our people. We're calling in Source, the archangels, angels, the ascended masters. Call in your ancestors, call in your personal guides. And let's just take a moment to feel, allow ourselves to feel all of this energy right now. Feel this love in inhale and exhale. You are a part of this. The thing about it is, right now, everybody, even though we may feel all alone, married or not, it doesn't matter. There is a different sense of loneliness that has been occurring deep inside as we have gone through our personal spiritual evolution for this year. So let's get connected. Let's reconnect ourselves with the energies of the archangels, the angels, the ascended masters, especially our ancestors, our spiritual guides. Let's do that right now through Source. Let's have Source reconnect us to all these beautiful, wonderful energies right now, right here, right now. And to ground this in, bring in the grounding with all of this love from our people. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. I brought with me today the Ascended Masters deck by Doreen Virtue. I love these cards. These are oracle cards and they have their own unique messages. And prior to going live with this session today, I went ahead and pulled some cards. Like, you know, it's always nice to get a feel of where do we need to go? What do we need to look at? And the card that came out was Peace by Paramahansa Yogananda. I think I said that right. So I wanted to see, for all that we've looked at so far in the cleansing and clearing that's been done, what is the message? What is it that we need to know right now? And one of the words that comes out in the world among other spiritual teachers and healers is joy. Tapping into your joy, finding your joy. And that's the card that came out, is Lord Maitreya, and his key message is joy. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Okay, there's a little bit of chat. I'm going to just take a quick peek at it. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the reconnection. You are so welcome. This is such an intense period of time. Again, I want to bring the reminder to remain connected to that joy, remain connected to that love. We're going to pull another card. I'm being directed that we need to pull another card, so let's do so. We have positive changes coming up by Paravati. I am unfamiliar with her, but at the end of the day, and especially with this today, we have positive changes going on. So that's fantastic. And then a final card is Yoga by Babaji. So for those who like yoga, those who want to do yoga, those who are already doing yoga, it's not just a physical alignment, it's a spiritual alignment. There's some very easy yoga poses. There's another healer today, I believe she does yoga, so we'll let her do her work. But this is a time to physically integrate all of these changes as well. So another thing that we're going to do right now, I'm just validating, verifying that everyone is in their body right now. So let me go through here. John, Nicole, Vi, Kathy, Michelle, Greta, Mary. Okay. Just making sure everyone is present in their bodies right now. Okay. I'm being guided and directed to go ahead and do a standard clearing. We're going to begin with the brain. Let's go ahead and call in source and all of our people and this beautiful sense of reconnection. And with all of this energy of love, with this joy, especially from Lord Maitreya, he's a hoot. Let's connect with that energy of love in our brain, our left brain, and our right brain. We're also going to do what is called the brain-mind meld. So we know that inside of our brain, we have that piece of cartilage that says, hi, here's the left, hi, here's the right. And you two work independently. Energetically, we're taking that down. Energetically, what we want is for the energy to move like the infinity symbol, to flow evenly back and forth. I know you're following that. Okay, so through source, we're calling in that brain-mind meld, that for all who still have that barrier up where we're fighting with ourselves, we want to do and we don't want to allow ourselves to receive, or we just sit back because we don't want to work. Let's bring in the energy of love and balance our brains right now. Let's balance our brains, recalibrate. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Oh, goodness. That's a lot of energy. And with this, once again, we're bringing in the white fire filled with the energy of love. We're going to run that through our brain right now. Like I say, to clear out all the cooties. That's my favorite word. So let's get the cooties cleared. Here we go. Running the white fire with the energy of love in the beautiful shape of the infinity symbol. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Wow, I don't know about you guys, but that opened up my heart center. Wow. Okay. So speaking of that, let's go through all of our energy centers, also known as chakras. Let's have source come in and to cleanse and clear any and all cooties, any and all pre-existing matter. Also, all residual energies, intentions, projections from others too. Let's get all of that cleared out right now through source, and have source once again run the white fire filled with love throughout our entire chakra system. Here we go. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. That was intense. It's getting real quiet. All I hear is the heater. Okay, now let's not only cleanse our auras once again, but let's ground. So first of all, let's run this white fire filled with love through our auras. This is a quick process. And now we're going to anchor into Mother Earth. So Mother Earth's heart, think of it as a diamond. We're moving into the diamond energies. This is yet another refinement of our spiritual path. It is representative of the piece of coal that we started out as. And here we are burning it off. So let's first of all visualize and see that diamond energy in the heart of Mother Earth. And what we're going to do is Now bring that energy, now see that energy pulsating from inside out and anchoring us in up through our feet, up through our bodies, out the top of our heads, and anchoring in with source all the way up to the seventh plane of existence. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. How is everybody feeling right now? I would like to know. So good, happy, sad. If there's any feedback, I would appreciate that. In the meantime, I'm pulling yet another Ascended Master card. We have Paul the Venetian. Paul went out into the world and spoke his truth in spite of challenges or otherwise. And we're being called to speak our truth right now. Okay? Challenges, everything. Another card we have here is from Lord Melchizedek. Melchizedek, spiritual law of attraction. This is a really important card simply because whatever we're thinking, our thoughts go out. Thoughts are things on angels' wings. And whatever we focus on, that's going to be made manifest right here, right now. So,
Hey, Stephanie.
I just want to hi.
Hi,
Yes.
it's Curdy. I just want to let you know that Nicole let us know that she's feeling a little pressure in her head, and that Michelle said she's feeling relaxed and had pain, but it had subsided. But Nicole's feeling that pressure in her head.
Okay, so one of the tools I brought today is this is selenite. And I wish you could see all of the details. There's a lot of neat things about it. But anyway, I call it my Palladian wand. This is a wonderful tool. So right now, let's go through source. We're going to have source go to Nicole and everybody else. Let's go ahead and have our energies recalibrated. And Nicole's focusing on you specifically to help release that. Nicole, you're also going to be up-leveling with your own spiritual transformation. So part of this process today is releasing, let's just focus on that word, okay? And now that's filled with love. There was a baby fish hook, Nicole, residing inside underneath your skull cap, trying to hide under the crown chakra. That's been cleared, okay? All right. Is anyone else out of sorts right now as far as your physical calibration?
Nicole said she's doing better.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, good.
And thank
Good.
you.
Oh, wonderful. Great. You're welcome. Awesome.
So Greta's saying she's been feeling pain in her low back.
Okay. This is quote unquote carrying the weight of the world. This is part of our spiritual walk right now. And this has been common for those of us who are light workers and who have been doing this work actively. That low back pain really came strongly into play in the last 5 years, more specifically the last 3 years. So let's go ahead, let's have Source bring you the downloads you need, all knowledge, wisdom, skills, understanding, whatever it is that you need to know how to and what it feels like, to feel safe in your skin, to know it's possible, that it's happening now. All through Source. And also to have Source educate you that Source will carry the weight of the world for you and that you are doing your part and you're showing up and you're being present. That's really, really critical. And love is being sent in there as well. And that was also a stuck energy from a different timeline that presented itself this time to be released. So it's released now. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate with water.
Michelle is saying that her upper back pain is sharp. It's behind her heart, and it's stabbing with breathing.
So let's clear that right now. And also for us, it's our angel wings. Um, those of us who, again, do this work or we're around this work, our thoracic area can be absolutely blazing, fiery hot. So Michelle, let's go ahead right now and release, dissolve, transmute the energies that are stuck in there. What comes through for me is this is presenting itself from 3 other timelines, past life speaking. Again, calling it forward to release it this time, to no longer have to deal with it. The violet fire is being brought in for you, which purges any and all energies that no longer serve you. How are you feeling right now? Also recalibrating your energies, Michelle.
Just waiting for them to respond.
Sure. Okay.
We have about 4 minutes until
Okay.
we need to log off. So I just want to
All right.
Greta said she's feeling reassured and at peace with her path. And Michelle says, I felt that. Wow.
That's what it's all about. Awesome. All right. So if anyone is interested, you can find me on Facebook, Stephanie Gerard. My website is whitelight.love. Yes, .love, L-O-V-E. You can contact me through my website. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. If you choose not to, that's great. My email is transformation@whitelight.love. Let's continue to set the intention that all of us have a joy-filled day, a love-filled day. Remember to hold on to your joy right now. All of this stuff going on out in the world is a distraction, okay? Remember where you're at. Remember your place of being love, of being light, and just to send the energy of love. Know that when you're moving about, whether it's the grocery store, the gas station, you're emanating light. Stay focused on that because it helps to reshift everything else in your thinking, if that makes sense. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And just a reminder to everyone that Stephanie's information will be added to her session bio. So you'll have her contact information if it hasn't been added already. We're in the process of doing that. When I say we, I mean Nicole, who is our technology goddess for everything, for the registration, for hosting us again on her webpage at www.essentialnicole.com, which is where this session replay will be. We are hoping to have those uploaded within the next 48 hours. And I just thank you so much, Stephanie, for saying yes. I think you said yes to us within a few minutes of asking to participate in this 12-hour day of collective healing. And I know this is new for most of us to hold virtual spiritual events. So thank you for participating in our first.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, you're welcome. And thank you to everyone who is participating today as an attendee and being willing to say, this is how I'm feeling and these are my questions. It really does help as we learn how, to best interact on this platform with our healers. So thank you so much. All right, everyone, take care.
All right. Bye.